Greetings, this is Shad, Mad Shad, coming to you from an undisclosed location on the right coast. Greetings from the right coast. Is it? I don't know. I think so. For the most part, it's pretty right. Trump signs everywhere, yada, yada, yada. So I wanted to just have a little bit of fun, a little creative fun, if you will. As I like to say, I've said before, I like to entertain notions and possibilities, even how far-fetched they are, just for the sake of contingency or just having fun. Aliens. Eat dirt, skirt, eater. Take me to your leader. Okay, so I get it. Yeah, okay. And I've we've all seen the sci-fi movies, and I love my sci-fi movies. I mean, and I love the whole genre. And I've watched. I mean, I grew up watching the old school Star Trek with Captain Kirk, and Spock. Gotta love that stuff. It affected me. It did. It opened up my imagination and went on from there. V. We all heard about V. The reptilian overlords. Defiance. I used to love Defiance. I hate that it went. I love the show. I love the game. But the whole idea of this group of aliens, different kind of aliens, coming to Earth to colonize it because their place is destroyed, and they come to us. And when they had seen Earth, whoever thousands upon thousands of years ago, hundreds of thousands of years ago, there was no people. So we're gonna bring our terraforming machines, and boom, we're gonna terraform. Well, they get here and there's people here. Like, somebody inadvertently hits the terraforming button, and boom. Now you've got different factions of aliens with humans against aliens and against humans, and it was very complex and very complicated. It was very cool. I think that would be the kind of it seemed very plausible. So aliens. Everybody's talking about. I get it. Everybody's talking about that this is probably some kind of alien conspiracy to take us over, or to include us into the Federation of Intergalactic Communities. Let's talk about that. So, a year ago or so, we remember that there was some footage. Some FLIR footage from a fighter pilot, a few fighter pilots that intercepted this thing flying around, and it was doing amazing things. Pew 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 pew. I think one of the, it was moving at astounding speeds, faster than anything we have, even our bullets, even our missiles, faster than all those. Able to make these like amazing. Just split second, right angle movements, and it defied the laws of gravity and physics as we know it, but or that we could achieve, obviously. And it came out, and they were like, yeah, this thing is quite amazing. One of the accounts is that it was at 30,000 feet, and it dropped all the way to sea level with the sea. It dropped in like a second, and then took off and contoured the sea, and then went into the sea, and then out of the sea, and what the hell? And I'm sure you watched this and seen all that, but shortly after that, the Pentagon come out with a statement. And it was that, yeah, that footage is legit. That's legit footage. What? What did you say? Seriously? That shit's for real? Damn. So, for real. And then, of course, it went on to say, I forget a lot of what it said, but it did say that we do have, stuff that is not of this world, supposedly, and that there's more to come. Stand by for more intel. It also went in to mention a guy that used to work at Area 51, and he was an engineer, and he helped build all this stuff. I don't know. I mean, I remember watching it. I think his name was Lazar, that guy, and he talks about element 115 and how this thing works, and it was what his description of this contraption, the attributes of this thing, was dead on. It was like, ooh, wow. I mean, he literally years ago described how this thing worked, and how it moved through a distortion gravity field, whatever. And there was some other things he talked about. That if you got too close to the gravity field on the outside, it would repulse your flesh. Ooh, don't get too close to that thing, and then we'd set in this thing, and you could just do whatever you want to do. I will. So that's kind of a fact. I don't know if that's information, misinformation. We all did see the footage and was just like, wow. So them saying that he was kind of on the right path, even though they had discredited him and his story, if you dig into his background, doesn't really add up a lot. He is extremely smart, though. Definitely an egghead. Way beyond most people's pay grade. So, yeah. But it's hard for me to believe, because they got him for a prostitution ring, and the places he said that he went to school for. They're like, no, we don't know this guy, and and of course he refutes by saying that, well, they scrubbed my history, and it's kind of hard to do all that, for real. I have friends that have questionable histories, and once you dig back in there, you see evidence of it. Even if they deny, there's still evidence. There's still other people that have records and footage and accounts that you can base that on. And that's, not to say that I kind of care. Sometimes I would investigate some stolen valor, and sometimes you look into it and you're like, he said what? Okay, all right, whatever. All right, yeah. All right, that checks out. That doesn't check out. Why doesn't that check out? And then I check into that, why it doesn't check out, and like, oh, okay, great. That's why. But still, there's. Anyway, I'm getting more into whatever. But his idea and his thing was that we've been dealing with extraterrestrials for 10,000 years, whatever. And you look into the Bhagavad Gita and the Vedas and all that from India, and then you look at a majority of myths and religions talk about beings from the sky coming down and and teaching us, higher beings, whatever, however you want to say it, gods and angels from heaven, and I mean, everything from the pyramids to the Greeks to the Viking, to the Norse, to I mean, everybody, the Mayans, the Incas, everybody has this like extraterrestrial themed kind of story. Anyway, so that talks about, well, maybe there is some kind of technology that's hidden from us or whatever, and that these elites and higher ups had this technology but never used it and only used it in certain. I kind of find that hard to believe, but anyway, just to go there, just to go there. The idea that, okay, I'm gonna start with a timeline. Roswell, Mexico. We all know about that one. apparently what happened is that there was a little saucer flying by. We shot it down. Went to the crash site. Grabbed the survivors. There were survivors. Grabbed the dead, the casualties, and grabbed the technology and went back to Area 51 and boom, 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 boom. We interrogated and dissected the survivors and the casualties. And then we back-engineered, this thing. Now Lazar says that there was 9 craft with in various degrees of operation, and so whatever. I'm going to think, okay, just as what's going on here, So these guys were captured, interrogated, dissected, imprisoned, technology back engineered and made to work. So think about that. If you were an alien, it doesn't matter. I mean, we're a nation, and we do this to other nations. Other nations do this to us. Iran shot down a drone, and they back engineered it, and now they have drones. The Russians, and we've done that with the Russians, and the Russians have done that with us, and so on and so forth. Everybody likes to figure out everybody else's technology and kind of go with that. The Russians, they tried to make their own space shuttle years ago. That was funny. It was an itty bitty one. Now you see SpaceX has one. So this idea that what's going on now is we're being prepped. Maybe the aliens came and said, "Look, we want a peace. We want a truce. You did this to us. We forgive you, and we want to, now that we're going to interact we're going to execute the prime directive. You now have the technology to go interstellar. You now have the most powerful weapons in the world. You have the power of the sun. Da 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 da. We want to make contact with you and share more technology, but you guys are fucking violent. Calm the fuck down. And we're not going to do this unless everybody in the whole world is under one flag." Okay, so because they have a treaty, they have to make a treaty with R, then they have to make a treaty with US, and then they got to make a treaty. And so somebody somewhere, like, I don't have a treaty with you, but I like your spaceship. Pew! So what I'm saying, it makes sense. But we have to go from a tier 4, tier 3, tier 4 civilization to a tier 2, which I believe they claim that this is a tier 1 society that's making all this. And so we're like, okay, by 2021, 2030, we'll have all this, one world order in play and all that and whatever. And then they will come and share their advances in the technologies, and we'll live forever and be shooting around the galaxies and the universe, just all, like Star Trek, whatever. Yeah. First off, we're like the North Korea of the universe, if you think about it. We are the cowboys from space, man. We are the cowboys of space. Guns slinging, pew pew, pew 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 pew. I mean, we've all seen Star Wars. It's not going to be like Star Trek. Maybe it is. Maybe everybody up there is very peaceful, and there's all this and that. Who knows? Who knows what's up there? What's out there. And then here we are. Now we've got the technology and capabilities that they do. I would be scared to death. I mean, we will bring an extinction level. We're very clever. We're very primitive. We're very clever, and we're very violent as a species. We have managed to take over this whole world. And throughout a whole history, all we've done is fight each other. That's it. So, it's kind of a no-brainer there. Why would you want to do that? why would you want to, make contact and say, look, we'll be friends, but first you got to calm the hell down, bro. I don't know. It's kind of weird. And there's other speculation that are they benevolent, or is this all a ruse? Is this all a trick? Make us destroy ourselves so they can come in, because the plan is to get us down to 1 billion people in the whole world, 99 million in the United States. This is the plan that they've basically told us. That's the other thing, is they've told us exactly what they're going to do, and they're doing it. They've been telling us for years. And some would say that's the satanic ritual cult, and da 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 da. They have to do the whole their ethos is they have to tell us what they're going to do, and then they do it so that we're powerless to stop them or whatever. But kind of reminds me of the James Bond movie, where James Bond has been he's been captured by the evil mastermind, and before he kills James Bond, he's got to tell him the whole plan from A to B, and how to stop him and everything, and ha 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 ha, you cannot stop me. As the hero is chained up or tied up, over this pool of sharks with freaking laser beams on their heads, and he's like, yeah, tell me more, and he's got his little diamond manicure, and he's cutting the ropes. Yeah, okay, yeah. Pa! It's broken loose, and I'm gonna rustle this gun and pew 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 pew, pew, and destroy his plans single-handedly. Because now he knows how. And I mean, why would you say that? Why would you tell everyone what you're gonna do and then do it? I mean, we're clever. We're gonna figure shit out. And why would this society, this civilization from another world, who seems to be more advanced than us, but somehow we're more violent than them, more clever and more violent, and able to really do some damage to them, and take their stuff and figure out how to work it. I mean, why would they want to be friends with us? We're not friends with North Korea. They're hell bent on our destruction. So is Iran. Same thing with Iran and Israel. They're most of the Middle East wants to destroy Israel and wipe it off the face of the earth. Same thing. In an intergalactic macrocosm. Why would you do that? Why would you unleash us upon the intergalactic society? I don't know, man. I mean, what the hell? or with the whole virus thing, maybe they are changing us so that we can be more subservient, more like cattle, so that the reptilian overlords can come down and have a feast. I remember one I think it was the Twilight Zone, that years ago, that there was this whole push for this vaccine. And once you took the vaccine, you got metal skin. And I was like, what the fuck? Why? Oh, you got to do it. It's a thing. And, the protagonist and antagonist, there was one guy that was fighting hard against it, but once he did the research, he's like, oh, an alien race had sent a message saying, your son is about to go whoop and flip, and if you don't get this genetically modified skin, you're all going to die. So we're trying to be benevolent, and basically we're going to try to change you so that you can survive and whatever. We know that you can't. This I don't think this vac is anything benevolent. If anything, it's quite the opposite. We're with the side effects, and it ends to a mean. I don't know what's the end game here. I don't know, but I don't know. If I was smarter than somebody else, if one group was smarter than another group, and that other group was clever and violent, yet kind of stupid, and I was a little bit smarter, maybe a lot more smarter, why would I fight? Why wouldn't I just instill hate and discontent in their group and let them just kill each other and then I can just come in and sweep up the pieces and take over, or take out whoever's left. That's a gaming thing. Why would they unleash a very substandard, subpar virus, upon us that we all just kind of overcome, like the common cold. It's a minor. The K is a minor inconvenience. The C is a minor inconvenience. There's no death rate per se to speak about. So why would they do that? Maybe they underestimated the power of our biological selves to overcome such things. I don't know. Maybe they can't deal with the biologicals. That's been conjectured. That's under conjecture. The alien race lands and what kills them is the common bacteria. Yeah. Like in War of the Worlds, the common cold killed the Martians. I like Mars Attacks. So the question is, which sci-fi movie or story is the truth? Because we know that art imitates life, life imitates art, and it's just a quantum imagination field of possibilities and what ifs. So which one is it? Which one? We know that we know that the sun is going through a grand solar minimum. We know that we're traveling as a galaxy through the space of the universe at like 828,000 miles per hour, and we're circling around. Our galaxy is moving or our solar system is moving in the Milky Way, a little bit less than that, and we're moving around the sun at whatever 50, 60,000 miles an hour, whatever, and that we're moving, and we know that Andromeda, another galaxy, is on a collision course with the Milky Way galaxy, and millions of years from now it's going to merge. Maybe it'll just pass on by each other. Who knows? But we're already getting the spear, the dust particulates and spear of it into our galaxy as well. It's starting to merge, because it's not just it's all spread out. And hey, what's up? How you doing? But hungry again. Third breakfast? She's already had second breakfast. Amazing. But it's interesting to entertain these notions. I find it entertaining. But that's more exciting than anything. And they have the prime directive against us, that they cannot make contact until we become a certain tier society in the categorization of civilizations, which makes sense. But who's to say, like Stephen Hawking says, who's to say that they're benevolent just because they're smarter than us? I mean, seriously. So, just another thing to think about. Oh yeah, this thing. Yeah. Oh, this is my little friend. That's a cool knife. I like knives. I've had this one for years. I've had two of these. This is a little Japanese inspired knife made by Cricket. It's called the Hisatsu. When I fell in love with this knife because of the shape of it. It's like a like a fillet knife, and you can fillet with it. I actually used my first one that I lost in the ocean, in the inlet, was silver, and I got the black tactical covering, whatever. But that's what I used it for. I used it for fishing, and man, oh my god, this thing it's hella fucking sharp. It's thick as hell. It's got a super fucking needle point. But you think about it. This thing right here, I didn't think about it, is only good for cutting, for slashing. If you were trying to stab something with it, there's nothing stopping your hand from going right down the blade there and slicing your fingers off. But I mean, it can be done if you do the ice pick method, but still, and the idea was that you the Hisatsu, it was meant one stroke kill or something, I don't know, whatever, and that one stroke was boom right to the top of the forehead or skull. And there you go. You got you a little handle. Stop. Anyway, yeah. But I would only use this. This was my EDC for a long time, but then I realized that I gotta have some kind of protection there, which I did. I trained with it, and that's when you realized that this probably wasn't a good idea. For like a stab like this, man. Woo, man, that's going up the blade. So I like the sheath of it. But hey, cool. Whatever. I got cordage on there. There's a basic, simple little, so I could strap it to anything. But yeah, Hisatsu, great knives, great knives. I'm getting bombarded by light. Yeah, light. So that's another thing is currently we only know we have a sphere of observation of about 245 million light years in all directions, and we've started to map out and figure out who what's out there, and man, we started to identify so many worlds that are in that Goldilocks zone. So chances are we've already established the location of said aliens, intergalactic. We probably already know where they who's who or where they are, and it's the closest one that we know that we think has life is about 1 light year away. And you're like, oh great, that's only 1 light year away. Yeah, 1 light year away. It means that it takes 1 year for light to get to us. Light travels at 186,699 miles per hour. 699 million miles per hour. We cannot currently get up anywhere close to that. So it would take us a long time to get there. If we had a flashlight and I hit the button on the flashlight to send a message, like you see from the ships, the old time, the ship signals, it would do that. It would take a year, an absolute year, for that light to get there. And then they would get it and go, oh, okay. Now we do have the technology where we could use a laser, maybe send packets of information that way, and they could receive it and send packets of information back to us, and who knows? But my point is, that's a long ways away. We have a long, so if we can figure out how to condense that space and time and distance in a short time, then we are highly mobile and lethal. So I just wanted to pop that out there, entertain that notion. I've been seeing it around anytime there's craziness going on, I always hear aliens. And for the longest time, that was my joke, why is this like this? Why are this? And what is the reason for this? And I would just go, aliens. I would just do it jokingly, but maybe there's something to it. I don't know. I don't know. But it's interesting to think. It's interesting to go there. So, that being said, prep for aliens. Let's see what kind of, maybe that's what 2021 holds for us, maybe that's it, maybe that's why we're going through all this bullshit, is because of aliens. So, I'm going to leave it at that. This is Mad Shad, signing off.